Come closer, my child. It's late, and the stars are watching. The night carries stories that the day is too busy to hear. Have I ever told you about the tree behind the old hill, the one that waited 1,000 years to speak? Long before this town was born, before these roads, these lights, before even my grandfather's grandfather had opened his eyes, there stood a single tree on an endless field of silence. It was tall, proud, and very much alive, though no one had ever heard it speak. People passed it by for centuries. They carved hearts on its bark, tied ribbons to its branches, whispered wishes into its hollow trunk. And yet the tree kept its voice hidden, like a secret it promised never to reveal. When I was a boy, I used to visit that tree every day. It was far beyond the village, across a stream that sang in the evenings. My mother used to scold me. "Don't go too far, the forest remembers things we forget." But I was curious. I wanted to know what the forest remembered. One summer morning, I reached the hill again. The air was heavy with the smell of earth and rain. I sat beneath the giant shadow of the tree, tracing the old carvings that time had almost erased. And that's when I heard it. A faint sigh, soft as breath, deep as the roots beneath me. "Why do you come here, little one?" it asked. I looked around. No one was there. The voice came from everywhere and nowhere, as if the wind itself had learned to speak. I remember stuttering. "Because you're alone. I thought maybe you wanted company." The tree didn't answer right away. Its leaves shimmered, and sunlight dripped between them like gold rain. Then it said, "I've been waiting for someone to listen. For 1,000 years I have waited." My heart almost stopped. I was a child, yet something ancient inside me understood. "Why did you wait so long?" I asked. The tree's voice grew low and slow, like it was pulling words from the deep earth. Because every voice that spoke to me came only to ask, never to hear. Every wish carved into my skin was for themselves, not for me. So I stayed silent until you sat here and said nothing. I remember smiling because I didn't know what to say. Sometimes silence is the only language pure enough for truth. That day the tree told me its story. How it had once been a seed carried by a storm, how it had seen kingdoms rise and fall, how children played at its roots while their fathers went to war, how lovers promised forever beneath its arms and then never returned. Every ring inside its trunk was a memory, a circle of time holding laughter, tears, and dust. And as it spoke, I felt the ground hum beneath me, as though the whole earth remembered with it. I stayed there until the sun bent low. Before I left, the tree whispered again, "Come back when the world forgets you. I will remember your name." Years passed. I grew up. Life became noisy, like 1,000 voices shouting at once. I went to cities, built dreams, lost some, found others, but deep inside me, that voice remained, the voice of the tree that waited 1,000 years to speak. One day, when my hair had turned gray and my hands trembled, I returned to that hill. The stream was dry now. The field had turned into cracked earth. And there, in the middle, stood the same tree, older, quieter, but still alive. I sat down beneath it, like the boy I once was, and without a sound, it began to glow in the fading sunlight, not with fire, but with memory. It spoke again. Its voice was weaker now, like the last echo of a bell far away. "Do you remember me?" it asked. And I whispered, "I never forgot." The tree sighed. I waited 1,000 years for one heart to listen. Now that I've spoken, my roots are tired. When I'm gone, will you tell my story? Tears filled my eyes. I will, I promised. I'll tell them that even the quietest souls hold the loudest truths. The tree smiled, if trees can smile, and a single leaf fell into my lap. It was golden, though the season was spring, and when it touched my skin, I felt warmth, peace, and the weight of time. That night, a storm came. Lightning split the sky in half. By morning, the tree had fallen, broken, but not dead. For in every leaf that scattered, I could still hear its voice whispering, "Welcome home." When the boy returned to the forest, he found it quieter than before. The wind had grown tired, the birds had gone, and yet deep inside him there was a pull, as if something ancient was waiting.